day 7. Officially 1 week into the Great Desert Trip, which I'm calling this Unremarkable Road Trip 3. We are in the middle of a canyon, and we are headed to Arches National Park whenever the sun comes up, because the roads out here are unmaintained, and if you're not driving a Jeep or a dune buggy, it is an absolute nightmare to deal with. So see you guys at Arches.
Alright, so Arches is another one of those big gangster parks that I mentioned in the Rocky Mountain video. So obviously there's gonna be traffic, but that is not a problem for us. We've got our pass, we're gonna get our stamps, and we're gonna attack this day at Arches National Park.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Beautiful.
You want to be my narrator? You know me pretty good at that.
Sure. This vast area, that's so funny, I used vast earlier to describe this. This vast area was once covered by extensive sand dunes. Some 200 million years ago, winds from the northwest carried tons of fine grained sand into this area, creating an immense desert. Over time, the sand drifts were covered by other layers of sediment, compressed and cemented by quartz and calcite into Navajo sandstone. Erosion has since washed away the overlying layers, exposing the petrified dunes.
So these are just all hardened versions of what we're going to see later on this trip.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It's like they just turned into rock.
Yeah, they just go on and on and on out there too.
It's so cool. Yep.
So this has a really nice path around brown balanced rock. It's wheelchair accessible, which is super nice. I feel like a lot of the park will be, because it basically seems like you just drive, hop out, walk around. I can't remember the exact feet. I want to say like 180 feet tall. Something
Maybe.
Like that.
We'll catch it on the way out.
Yeah, but it is really cool how it really does, especially from this angle, it does look like it's just balancing up there.
Yeah. It looks like one piece of rock just sitting on top of a flat one.
Yeah. It's a nice little first stop.
Alright, I know what you all came to see. Delicate Arch, but it is not happening in this video because that is a 7-mile hike and we only have 1 day, and that would take us all day. So instead, we're going to show you what you can do if you're not doing that hike and still have a full day at Arches National Park.
Cracking. The cracks widened, rainwater dissolves the natural sediment. Process combines from the pressure from the water freezing, causes the sandstone to flake and crumble. Eventually enough rock falls out. An opening is formed.
Nice.
Cool.
Hey guys, Ranger Kevo here again. And sometimes you might find yourself in a crowded park and you want to make a video and you're afraid that people are going to think you look like a crazy person. But that's when you need to remember most. To breathe it in, man. Take it easy, man.
All right. So Turret Arch, or Turret Point, whatever it's called, that's been my favorite so far. What about you?
Yeah, mine too. It had, I don't know, it just looked better. I feel like the window arches aren't kind of all that. It's just like a big rectangle with a hole. These arches actually look like full arches.
Yeah. It's like cool, but this one you can climb around on it and stuff.
Yeah.
Go through the holes and whatnot. And there's, I don't know if you guys will be able to see, double arch right across the way. It's a little bit far away. Let's see if we can zoom in here. There's double arch.
All the people kind of look like ants.
Yeah.
So we think we're gonna skip actually going over there.
Not to be confused with double O arch.
if you have to hike too.
Yes.
I think the paper said it was like a 4-point-something mile hike.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be doing that because we have the dogs.
Yeah, it's too far.
And we can't take them, so.
I think we'd also rather see more sights than, you know, waste 2 hours or 3 hours. Well, not waste it, but, you know, spend 2 or 3 hours on one site.
On one thing, on one arch versus all
While I'm doing this,
Go.
I got thoughts about this park.
Go ahead.
Well, so far, this seems like one of the more kind of industrialized parks. Not, you know, not really without a. I don't really have a better way of saying it. Like it's kind of, you're on a very specific path.
Yeah, there's one visitor center, one road that leads throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, which is nice. You know, I'm sure some people will probably, you know, I'm a little bit of a national park hipster. Where I'm like, oh, I like the small parks where, you know, they're unappreciated and there's not a bunch of traffic. But honestly, this park has not been affected by us coming in the colder seasons. And that's been a big problem at some of the other parks we visited. You know, there was stuff that we couldn't do, things that were closed off. So this one is kind of a breath of fresh air. And sometimes I also don't want to take a 7-mile hike to see one view and then miss everything else for the rest of the day. But also there's something about just cooking food out here that reminds me of like my elementary school field trips. And it just feels good, you know, not just eating junk food. Anyways. Hey guys, welcome to the part of the video where I've lost the girl. She's struggling to get up the steps.
Just see the different layers that I guess like a road away.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
And a new friend of ours told us that all this rock that's down here used to be a part of that arch. There you go.
Okay. So the part we were talking about earlier about how the rocks fell. So here you can see the picture of the guy. And then this whole section is what fell onto the ground. And then it just created like this big gap.
Yeah.
Just super cool that you can get right below the arch and see that.
And see the remains of the boulder.
Yeah.
Doubled the size of the opening. Back on the road.